resources meeting you said it. So my first question is, two questions. In the event that these anomalies are not corrected, that she was highlighting, what are you going to do as a factor? Are you going to report the election process will proceed? Then
Sorry, just one question at a time so we can cover a lot. What are we going to do? The CCC has consistently said that ZANU-PF can never win a free and fair election in Zimbabwe. We know that electoral malpractices are in their lifeblood. They're going to try and rig no matter what. So the first and most important call to action for every citizen is that we need to win big. We need to vote big, defend big. We need to ensure that we all stay at our polling stations. Our polling agents will be in place so that there is no scope for these electoral malpractices to take root. We're going to use every single tool available to us. We're going to use litigation, obviously. We're going to use political pressure, but we're also going to use our own internal mobilization. The CCC, we're not crybabies, we're champions for a reason. So we're going to fight and fight hard. And ZANU-PF's posture tells you beyond any doubt that they know that we're no walkover. They thought they buried us after they did their shenanigans with the MDC alliance, and yet here we are, the biggest political party in the country. So we're going to fight. They must expect that we're going to fight hard so that we win Zimbabwe for change for everyone. Next question. Yes, ma'am?
Okay, I'm Wangaika from HSTV. I want to know when and where is your next rally?
Oh, that's a very good question. President Nelson Chamisa has been on the campaign trail non-stop. Almost every single day, every single week in the lead up to the election, he's going to be conducting rallies. This week, I believe he's in Mat South starting from tomorrow. And so these rallies are going to be predominantly in the rural areas. We know the people we're dealing with, so we're not going to give them a schedule right here, right now. We know they're here and they're listening. But be rest assured that our bona fide media will be told. Sometimes for the protection of citizens in areas, we have to do things and then report afterwards so that the citizens remain safe when they are. But President Chamisa is on the campaign trail non-stop. 80% of his rallies are going to be in rural communities, currently Mat South. So Mat South, get ready. Our change champion in chief is coming so that he can energize the base, see all the people who've been mobilized. But even though those rallies are taking place, we aren't stopping with internal meetings. We're going to continue. There are election mobilization teams, voter mobilization teams in all villages every single day. So, rallies are just our show of force, but the real work is happening continuously on the ground. Yes,
thank you. My name is Fadzayi, I'm a journalist. What are you not complying with on MOPA? Because we've seen most of the cancellations. They are saying we are not combining, we are not following.
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. I want to put it beyond doubt that the bans of CCC rallies have nothing to do with the law and everything to do with repression. In those instances where the police say that we have not complied with the Maintenance of Peace and Order Act, they're unable to articulate which section has been violated because there's simply no non-compliance. Our letters notifying the police are on a template. They're all the exact same ones. So you'll find that the notification that does lead to an authorization or clearance, as it's erroneously called, is exactly the same as the one where they say we haven't complied, which shows you that the police are not being honest. There has been full compliance with the Maintenance of Peace and Order Act, and yet the ZANU-PF is just abusing them to try and stop our rallies. That's all it's about. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the law. Yes, ma'am.
From the News Ones. Just to follow up, from Ms. Chirelenga's presentation, you've written to ZEC more than 3 times, and they've only responded once. With only 30 days to go to election, what happens to sectors at this point?
Well, obviously, as a matter of law, and I'll let Ellen deal with this in addition after I've just laid out one thing. In terms of the law, we have to place them in mora. You don't just run to litigate without first engaging them. And there are some instances where ZEC has responded. There's a time that we didn't only write, we actually went to their offices. You saw them, they recruited armed riot police to come after us. But be that as it may, we do everything we can to engage ZEC. Constitutionally, they're the ones mandated to deal with our concerns. We expect them to deliver a free, fair, credible, and verifiable election. If they don't, as I've indicated earlier to the gentleman who spoke there, we're going to use all tools available to us, not excluding litigation. So for example, where we wrote to them about the double candidates, they didn't respond to us, we then took further steps. We engaged our lawyers who advised us to engage civil litigation, to make criminal reports and so on. We're also applying political pressure. We are on a campaign to show who the correct candidates who aren't faked are. Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions? I think I'll take maybe one or two more. Yes, sir?
I just want to know who signed for Freddy Massacre.
I mean, it's not within the practice or comms protocol of the CCC to deal with personalities. And so I'm not going to be drawn into dealing with personalities. But to answer your question so that you don't say I've run away, we don't know. It's a forged signature. So we don't know who actually forged it, but the person who's represented as having signed for him didn't sign for him. And this is not just unique to him. This goes for all of the candidates that are in issue in this case. And so what I'm saying is a global answer to all of them. Yeah. Is there someone who hasn't asked a question, preferably a woman journalist? If not, yes, sir?
Okay, thank you so much. So, one can question your preparedness to and seriousness as a party to this election. You were alleged to be late to the application process in Mahere, which has taken you and ZEC to court for disqualification of those candidates in Mahere. How much is your budget towards this election to make sure that effective campaign and
okay, so the
agents nationally?
Stripped to its essence, your question is how prepared is the CCC for this election? Now, the CCC is the only political party, bar ZANU-PF, that abuses state resources, loots, commandeers, ZUCO, that is actually able to mount a credible offensive against ZANU-PF. We had no issues whatsoever with the nomination of our presidential candidate. We see other people are in court, other people didn't have the money. Ours was completely sorted. When it comes to parliamentary candidates, similarly, we beat the record of the MDC and we had 100% success rate, meaning that in all 210 constituencies, we've got duly nominated candidates on behalf of the CCC. It's not correct that our candidates in Bulawayo were late. If they were late as a matter of law, ZEC would not have accepted their papers. Remember, they don't like us. They would do no favors for us. So the fact that their papers were duly received and that they were nominated, they appeared in the Gazette, means that we fully complied with the law. So when you look at the total matrix when it comes to preparation, nobody beats the CCC. The old criticism of the CCC or of the opposition was that, no, you've got an over-focus on urban areas. But look at things now. ZANU-PF is even terrified for us to have a rally in Mashonaland Central because they know that we've penetrated and mobilized hard. Look what happened in Gokwe, look what's happening in Chipinge South. They won't even let us do door to door. They won't let us have rallies. That is not the sign or posture of a political party that's not ready. They know that we're very ready. They try to squeeze all our sources of funding, and look at the bumper crowd that was at Nkoba Stadium. They try and ban our launch. We have another one. I don't know any other party that has the readiness to deal with a brutal dictatorship that's worse than Robert Mugabe. And we don't sit and moan about it. We make a plan B, C, D, E. Rest assured, we're not going to stop until we win Zimbabwe for change for everyone. And so on that note, I think we're going to close this press briefing. Thank you very much. Okay, just one because of our time.
All right, thank you very much. In your campaign as the CCC, in terms of candidature representation, I'm more concerned about women. How many, do you now have statistics to say these are the number of women who are coming from the CCC who are representing? Because there is concern that it seems as if the candidacy for women has gone down in this election.
Obviously, when you're dealing with a dictatorship that operates in a violent, brutal way, politics in general won't be safe for women. We all know what happened to what was then known as the MDC trio. When women, even yourself, look at that, they shy away from politics, and there's nothing that the CCC can do about it. However, we have a gender parity policy, and you will see, even with our constituency seats, that we are doing our best to give space to women who have the courage, who have the competence to stand. We ensured that all our quota PR seats were filled. women are not just involved at parliamentary level, but also as council candidates. Even if you look at Bulilima, that is a big story for women. This is a rural constituency. Her nomination was citizen-driven, pushed, and so the CCC is actually making an effort, unlike the counterparts on the other side. We are making an effort. But that said, I think once the reforms are in place and politics is generally safer for women, more women will participate naturally. And as a party, you know, a lot of our key mobilizers are women. A lot of the people in the task force of the party are women. We have a dedicated women's task force to ensure that the issues and representation of women are respected at all levels. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. As citizens, we encourage everyone, play your part, get involved, don't sit in the terraces, make sure we vote big so that we have a new government led by President Chamisa and that we're able to build a Zimbabwe that works for everyone. Thank you.